From Keep It Together Francis, thank you, Jack. That was tough for me to read with the way it broke down there. Who the Steelers go for at QB? My fear is that they're just going to roll it back with Mason Rudolph and say, we're good. Yay, we did it. Hope that's not what route they go. I would go trade for somebody. I think a lot of that core is still built to win now. I would prefer that over, you could draft a Kenny Pickett, maybe draft a raw guy, like somebody in the mold of Malik Willis. Maybe you want to go Carson Strong, pocket passer. I think they want more mobility than Carson Strong, so that's the route I would go. I would go trade for somebody. I'd move hell and high water for Aaron Rodgers. If you can't get him, I'm looking at a Russell Wilson or somebody else, or even a Jimmy G, because I think you can win more games right now than with Mason Rudolph. Howard, Steelers must address other areas before drafting or trading for a QB. So there's two routes to go here in terms of how you address quarterback. If you can get your guy, go do it right now. If you think that's your franchise QB, do not wait. It makes life easier for the rest of your cast. Or you can fix everything or try to fix everything and then bring in a QB on the cheap. Mason Rudolph is not a good starting NFL QB. That is their biggest need. But if you want to wait on addressing that role, I'm okay with that. And just kind of hybrid tanking for a season while you wait to find the right guy at QB.
Let's go to Oyster Brew. That sounds like the worst beer I've ever heard of. It tastes like real oysters. Claypool was listed in a trade article from ESPN. Should Pittsburgh trade him? I personally like Chase Claypool. I know he's entering year 3. He was basically a tight end at Notre Dame, 6'4", 250 pounds, good athlete. I'm going to say, this is my guess, I think he had 109 targets his first year, 105 targets this past year, so the numbers did go down a little bit. Deonta Johnson is clearly the number one. With Juju Smith-Schuster also being a free agent, that makes me a little bit nervous in terms of moving on from Claypool. If you still think that Pittsburgh can compete, then my answer is no. If you're like, well, we're going to do a rebuild on offense because we just lost Ben Roethlisberger, then my answer would be potentially. Let's go to Devin Greathouse. Who will the quarterback of the Steelers be next year? Wow. All right, I'm going to take a guess here. We're going to get a little bit ballsy. If I was the Pittsburgh Steelers and I felt like I was a quarterback away, I would say you either go out and try to get somebody like Aaron Rodgers, you go out and try to get somebody like Deshaun Watson, though the more and more I sit here and wonder, it would not surprise me if they just stick with somebody like Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, but I think that would be an absolute disaster. Jimmy Garoppolo is another name to absolutely keep in mind. Now remember, guys, if you want to get your questions or your comments featured here on NFL Daily, you got to use hashtag NFL, or you can go ahead and super chat.
From Keep It Together Francis, what's the most likely trade for Deshaun Watson? Ooh, good question. The Giants claim they're out. The Dolphins claim they're out. I don't know if I believe them in the end. A lot of this comes down to, does he get cleared off the field? I think from a draft asset perspective, Philadelphia and New York make a lot of the New York Giants, make a lot of sense for just the trade value there. Maybe a dark horse team gets involved. Could like Minnesota jump in the mix there and move on from Kirk Cousins in some capacity? Could the Steelers get wild? Could Denver get wild? I think all those teams make sense, but until we know what the off-the-field stuff looks like, who knows?
Let's go to Kevin McFlurry. What's your Super Bowl pick? Well, I wish I would have known that it was going to be Bengals and the Rams a few months ago. I would have made a hell of a bet. I bet on the Bengals to cover because they were 4-point underdogs. The over-under in this game is 49 points. All I know is this. At this current point, I have bet on the Bengals to cover the 4-point spread. But what do y'all think here? Super Bowl prediction. Type R for the Rams. Type B for the Bengals. Let me know down in the comments section who you got. I'm going to type my B for Cincinnati, though I also wouldn't mind to see Matthew Stafford win a Super Bowl. It'd be a really cool story from top to bottom, and the fact that the Bengals were the number 1 overall pick back in 2019 is an absolutely incredible story. I think the ratings will be down a little bit, but I'll enjoy watching this game. I'm going to type B for Bengals, but you guys can let me know who you got. Where do you guys think Russell Wilson is going to play in 2022? It's kind of an interesting question. I know Wilson's been linked to a bunch of different teams out there. One of the top quarterbacks, so Let me know, looking at that crystal ball, where Wilson's going to play in 2022.
From Mr. Stegosaurus, we saw with the Bengals. What is the surprise team for next year if everything goes well? I say Jags or Bears. I mean, I think you're hitting the right area of like young quarterback taking the big time leap forward. I think you got two good names from that perspective. I think if you're trying to stick in the same mold of young QB, trying to go on the rise, haven't been very good, those are the ones that jump out to me since they were pretty bad last year. If you really want to get crazy, I don't think it'll be the case. Houston also fits a similar mold. Now I'll mention the Giants if they can get a better QB in there. We are not that far away from 278,000 subscribers here on Chat Sports. So if you want free videos every day on the NFL, the NBA, and more, hit that big red button and subscribe. From Taylor Holland, who will cost more? It's a super chat, by the way. Thank you, Taylor. Who will cost more, Rodgers or Wilson? I think Rodgers, but I don't think they're that far apart. Rodgers probably has a shorter shelf life, but he's playing better right now. So I would go Rodgers, but I don't think it's that far apart. If you want to bet on the NFL draft, do it with BetUS. 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/bet when you use promo code NFL Daily. The number one overall pick odds are as follows. Aiden Hutchinson, plus 150. Kayvon Thibodeau, plus 160. Evan Neal, plus 200. Ika Ekwonu skyrocketed to plus 400 after Dane Brugger put him at number one. Jags need OT more than they need edge help, but the better players are Hutch and Thibodeau. And then QB Kenny Pickett, way down there, plus 2,500. Bet on the NFL with BetUS. Promo code NFL Daily gets you a 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/bet.
Now, here's my next question. I wish I was out in Las Vegas for this, but unfortunately, I'm not. I'm going to be stuck in Dallas, and it's going to be 19 degrees. I'm going to be freezing my nipples off. But will you guys be watching the Pro Bowl? I want you to type P for Pro Bowl or type N for No Bowl. I usually do not watch the Pro Bowl, and the amount of N's that are coming right now in the live chat doesn't surprise me at all. Though I do like the skills competition. I was a fan of when they did like the whole dodgeball thing. But, the players don't take it all that seriously. I do think it's a good opportunity to try out new rules, a good opportunity to try out a few new things with how bad is what the NFL officiating has been in the playoffs and realistically major points of the season. I'd be interested to see if they can get robots involved. I mean, if AAA baseball can do it for umpires, why not in the NFL Pro Bowl game?
From Keep It Together Francis, what's the most likely trade for Deshaun Watson? Ooh, good question. The Giants claim they're out. The Dolphins claim they're out. I don't know if I believe them in the end. A lot of this comes down to, does he get cleared off the field? I think from a draft asset perspective, Philadelphia and New York make a lot of – the New York Giants, make a lot of sense for just the trade value there. Maybe a dark horse team gets involved. Could Minnesota jump in the mix there and move on from Kirk Cousins in some capacity? Could the Steelers get wild? Could Denver get wild? I think all those teams make sense, but until we know what the off-the-field stuff looks like, who knows? From Pierce Bailey, top NFL QBs under the age of 27. Okay, so I got to think who's actually under the age of 27. So Joe Burrow's in there. I don't think Kyler Murray is in there. Lamar's in there. Herbert's in there. Is Mahomes under 27? I'm pretty sure he is. So if that's the case, I think I just named the top guys under the age of 27. Let me double check Mahomes' age. He's 26. So then, yeah, Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Kyler, and I think Lamar. Oh wait, Josh Allen is under 27 too, right? Let me double check that. I'm not Rain Man with ages. He's 25. So then, yeah. So no order: Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert. Final answer, except for the guy that I somehow forgot. For more NFL videos, latest news, rumors, trades, draft, free agency, all of it, hit that big red button and subscribe for free videos every single